So I've got my scruffs on, I'm having a cup of tea. I'm having a very slow start to the week after Halloween and my Oracle release, and I suddenly realised, I've been a witch for 32 years now, but I've only been working as a witch as a full-time job for the last 5 years. And so I realised that, which I should have realised a lot sooner, but around Halloween it's a really busy time for me. It's a busy time for admin and interviews and new things, as well as the things that I want to do as well personally as a witch. So I need to bear that in mind for next year. I need to make a mental note of that. So today is Monday the 3rd of November, and I decided, because I didn't have any clients today, I thought this is going to be a great day for me to reset the home, dust this room. There's a lot of dusting, as you can imagine. I've got lots of things in here. Reset my altar, put some fairy lights up. I'm not doing the festive thing right now, but I'm going to just bring in some fairy lights, I think, to start off with. And yeah, move some things around the house, just change the energy a bit. And I actually really like doing that because I love the energy afterwards when you start moving things around. And my husband always notices, or if my children come around, they're like, oh, it feels really, really nice, Mum. So that's what I'm doing today, having a really super chilled, slow start. So I spent hours tidying up my room, dusting, moving things around, freshening up my altar, just getting the space more to hold me and to make it feel more inspiring to work in. Walter has a new really cute bear bed, which he rarely gets out of, which is not a good thing. Tuesday morning there was rainbows, it was wet, it was grey, and then pockets of sun. So we decided to go off to look into the forest, because I really love seeing how the trees are changing colour and all the leaves on the ground. So made the most of that. Then back home to a cosy house. Put the low lights on, lit some candles, had incense on. Wednesday, it started to rain the whole day. So I got cozy in my little room and I had a lot of admin to do, and I had an afternoon full of sessions with my clients all over the world, which is really good. It was really lovely to connect to them and connect to their messages and their loved ones and help them on their path. It was also the full moon, super moon in Taurus. So in the evening, I slowed right down. I did some journaling, I connected to myself, I reflected a lot. And of course, I did some magic as well under the super moon. Thursday morning, woke up to a wet start again, but went slow, did some journaling and reflection about the full moon from the night before, and of course used my own oracle deck, the Witch's Way Home Oracle. So this full super moon in Taurus really did sort of impact me in a way of reflection and made me feel like we are now entering into this period of time of preparing to go through the darker months of the year. And I kind of love this time of the wheel of the year, because after we've obviously been celebrating and reflecting and anchoring into what we've harvested from the summer and the autumn, Samhain, Halloween was this rebirth, this fresh new start, this new year kind of feeling. And it got me all excited, and it naturally made me feel like, I think I do this like twice a year. I do this kind of feeling of spring cleaning, moving rooms around, changing up our home, maybe getting some new cushions if I needed, or a nice new mug or things like that. And that happens in March and now the first couple of weeks in November. So how I work with November is I take time out, sort of like the first week of November, to sit, put a candle on, grab a cup of tea and my journal, and I write sort of soul searching questions to myself of, how do I want to be held through this current winter that we're moving into? What new routines do I want to start? Or is there anything that I need to put into place that will actually hold me through this time? And when I looked at my answers, when I asked my soul and I saw my answers, I was like, okay, I don't like overhead lighting. I like the low lights, the candles, the fairy lights. So I'm going to bring some of those into my life in November. Not full festive yet, but bring some of those cozy vibes more into our home. Obviously knitwear needs to come out and things that make me feel comfortable and warm. And my whole morning practice has changed. I normally am a kind of person that likes to get up, go slow, spend time with my dog Walter and my husband in the morning, have a nice cup of coffee, and then I normally meditate and journal. It doesn't really feel right for me this winter, funny enough. I really want to bring that kind of practice more into like 5 o'clock time if I'm not with clients. So that's the time of space where I'm gonna put the candles on and do my journaling and oracle cards and meditating, connecting to the spirit world. So that feels exciting to have this new sort of swap from morning to early evening. I'm looking forward to cooking more like comforting, wholesome food, like pies, anything with mash. I love roasted vegetables and salmon and things like that. So it's going to be more things like that, apple crumbles, hot chocolates. So this is all perfect for this time of year. At the beginning of the year, I made this new sort of rule for myself, which I'm going to share with you because it might be inspiring for you. But I run my own business and my life is very busy and hectic. And for the last 3 years, I've been writing 2 books and an oracle deck. So I've had a lot of deadline, lots of launches, lots of press, interviews, and it's been sort of constant like that, which is really lovely. But I did feel sort of like springtime of this year that I felt not burnt out, but I was running slow and I didn't feel like I was in my best frequency. So alongside my author job, I also hold space and I do guidance medicine readings for people all over the world, one-to-one on Zoom. I also do mentoring for people, and I've just started a witch school, which has been so amazing to start that on the 1st of November. I've just got this beautiful community of witchy students who joined up. So yeah, life is really busy, and to have downtime and creativity. And I realised I didn't have much time for Emma. So obviously as a witch, I work around the moon. Not all witches do have to work around the moon, I must say that, but I feel very aligned with the moon phases. So when the full moon comes in, that's my time where I give myself 2 weeks. And the first week, so the full moon was yesterday, so for 7 days from now on, that is my pause time of maybe doing things for the house, maybe catching up with friends and family. I go slower, it's more of my rest period. I do some content creation, I batch content and do videos and things like that. I get organised for like the month ahead. Then the week following that first week of the full moon is a whole week where I use that for creativity. I do always hold space on Mondays for clients throughout the month, but from Tuesday to Friday of that week is when I'm writing personal projects. And at the moment I'm writing a fantasy novel that's like a little bit of true life, which I'll explain over this couple of months. But that's my time where I spend the whole of that week writing, creating, immersing myself in that world. And I absolutely love that because I'm a creative person at heart. So I need that at a soul level to fuel me. Then when we get over to the new moon brings so much energy to me. That gives me 2 weeks to go. I see clients, I push all my client calls into those 2 week windows. I do any podcast interviews, or I travel and do interviews or TV stuff or anything like that on that 2 week period. So by allowing myself to have this 2 weeks of holding space and work, and then 2 weeks of, okay, reset Emma and refocus and also allow my creativity, it's really helped me. So it's definitely something I'm going to keep up and go into 2026 with, because it really has allowed me to just balance my work life. Also, November brings me this time of getting the home ready. Like, I want to colour drench this room ready for putting out Christmas decorations. There's always things, because we have 3 dogs, there's like little chips of paintwork or, you know, normal housey stuff that we have to do, and I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm reading this lovely book at the moment, and that's something I gifted myself, not the book but the time. You know, like for winter, I don't want to be on my phone or answering messages from my clients. There's going to be a switch off time, and I'm not really a TV watcher that much either. I like films or documentaries, or I like to learn something. So I'm definitely going to give myself a good couple of hours a night to read and just lose myself in a lovely adventure. But looking at each month and looking at the energy that that month gives you and helps you or holds you or activates you, it can be really helpful. And November is that still time just before we get into December of the hectic shopping, family, holidays, and it's really busy. So no wonder we feel really drained in January. So I hope that this is inspiring for you. For maybe you could light a candle, sit down with a cup of tea and just focus into, well, how do I want to hold myself through the festive season? You know, what kind of things do I need to bring into my life? Do I need a journaling practice? Do I need an hour of stillness? Do I need to start yoga or be out in nature more, or learn something new, try something different? So yeah, I hope you do a little bit of soul searching. Friday, I had some chores to do, some admin, I had an interview, I had some client calls, and then I was getting just the house ready for the weekend. I always print out every month my favourite images for the month at the end of the month, and I always put them into a photo album. I try and sum up an event in 3 images. That's my photographer background for you. But I think it's really lovely to have memories like that to actually flick through and just enjoy. And then it was time to wait for my husband to come home from work, put the fairy lights on, put some candles on, and get ready for a lovely weekend.